Okay, it's time that I do my last stepping up of densely grown seedlings for at least this spring. We're here, we're getting towards the end of April. It's time to get some of these plants planted, get them out in the earth boxes. These are some varieties that I was waiting on the seeds, or I had some failures with the other germination with some of them. I've got, oh my goodness, I've got a bunch of new micro tomatoes. Surprise, surprise, I'm growing more micro tomatoes. I think these are going to be very cool. I've got several peppers. I've got, oh my gosh, what all do I have here? This. Anyways. And I've got a variety of peppers here that I had missed in the germination process earlier when I was doing all those varieties. So I'm just catching up with some of the ones that I needed to get out into the garden. Now, as I was doing with the earlier transplants, I'm going to be taking these seedlings, because these are the densely grown or densely sown, transplant them into the Bootstrap Farmer 4 cells. This one's with the air pruning sides and the holes to pop them out easy in the bottom. And I'll be using the Jolly Gardener CB mix, and I'll be using the Jolly Gardener CB mix, which I've been using this spring, which I really do like. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah, I really do like this mix with the primarily the Canadian peat moss, and especially, there's one of my old tags, and especially the processed or the composted pine bark chips are in here. I like it better than the ones that have like the sticks in them. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these containers up, give them a couple tappy taps, and go from there. I'm just going to show you me filling them all. Don't have to be very precise with this. I just like to kind of throw the mix in there and tap it instead of pressing down. I think that creates a better root zone environment. And I don't know if you see, catching glimpses of Chili nosing around out here on the back porch with me as I'm doing this. And I have to tell you, in case anybody is wondering about my tub here, I love to have a tub of mix available where you can go ahead and pot up plants like this. This is an old utility wash tub that I had been using out on the back porch, and I went ahead and upgraded to a second-hand kitchen sink I have out on the back porch now. And so I had this tub to use, and I thought, well, why can't I just use that to hold my mix? Yeah, let's see here. That's 8 or 9. I think I've got 10 to do, or I've got at least 10 to do. I'll just start with that. Okay, so now it's really getting back to that, planting these densely sown seedlings. And we'll just go ahead and, but taking this, and like I said, I got my Bootstrap Farmer, one of my old ones, 6-packs. I don't have holes in the bottom. I was just going to pop this out and be a smart aleck, but can't do that. But what I am doing here is I'm going to pop this out and do this. Oh, there's a couple of them there. But just to let you know, I'm using a silver-plated spoon that was my grandma's as a scoop here. But I do have to tell you, I got a new project, new hobby that I'm doing using silver-plated spoons. I'm going to be sharing that with you at some time in the future. But when we do this, these seedlings, if you remember, or if you didn't see the other, or I'm going to take that seedling like that, I'm going to lay it down on top of the mix, and I'm just going to push it in like that and plant it that way. Here, this one's going to be a little tougher. I'm going to go ahead and dibble that with my finger, make it a little easier. But when you do this way, it makes it, I think, easier. What do I do with my spoon now? Makes it easier to do a deeper planting. Here, and I got the whole plug here, so I'm just gonna dibble with my finger again and stick that in there. But I think you get a deeper planting and you get more roots along that stem, right? So let's just do that. And I'm just putting one variety in these four cells. That lets me pick and choose here. Oops, here. I'm so used to poking them out. Doing this, I'm only going to plant 2 of these when the time comes. Kind of tease these apart a little bit. See how easy that is? Oh, how that works. And then we can just go push that in. And when you're teasing these apart, it's much easier if this mix is a little dry. It doesn't hold on to those root hairs. Oops, here, and I dibbled. I'm just going back and forth on it all, aren't I? Let's see here. Let's get this out of here. See, and then looking at these, and bust these apart. I'm not so sure about that one, how it's kind of turning downward, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to put that in there and just do the 3 of those. I'll get at least one good one out of that. And a lot of these newer micros are just evaluation plants for me anyways. So I'm not planning on having a lot of seed production of these. Now this one's called Inkberry, and it's interesting, just to kind of a comparison. Look how much darker and kind of purplish those leaves are. And somebody might think, well, it's a little deficient in nutrients. Well, it's like, not really. A lot of the tomatoes and a lot of the vegetables in particular, if they have the real dark fruit, then a lot of times the foliage is also reflected in the foliage, and the foliage being really dark. On here we got 3 here, so let's go ahead and pop these apart. Okay, see all those little roots right there? And just poke that in like that. And then this one, I got a bigger mass of roots, so I'm just gonna dibble this one. Now, I know there's no hard and fast rules when you're gardening. As long as you get the results you want, who cares how you get there? Delicious coffee from a Urban Nano Farm coffee mug is always a good idea. Oh, let's see what else here. We've got more little more little tomatoes. Let's go ahead and do some peppers here. Now this one I've been wanting to grow. This is Fatale, and Fatale seems like a fancy name for a pepper, but when I first grew Fatale, I don't know, 20 years ago, nice bright yellow, has lemony notes to it, but I discovered that Fatale is a pretty descriptive name for it because it is Pretty hot. Not as hot as the super hots that we get now. It's not as hot as Ghost, but it is warm. And then let's see what we got here. Got a couple others. You see how poke that, let's see, that plug out of there. And there's just a extra one. Whoops. And again, because I've got the whole plug here, I'm just gonna plant the plug like that. Do the same thing here. Nice. And I'm not really too concerned about those roots like that. Now let's see. Pop that in. Always with tags. Tag everything because you want to keep track of what you got going. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. Oh, and we've got some others here. Oh, let's see. Let's be space considerate here. Since I've only got one of this one and I got an open space. And it's a good thing that you put tags on everything. I'll just pop that in there. Tag that. Make sure I get. Yeah. Okay. I can remember that now. And let's see here. Well, what is this? Oh, that's one. I mean, yeah, maybe I should. What do you say? They're growing this good, they deserve to live? Sure. Okay. Anyways, this is a chiltepin. This is called sonoran. And the chiltepins, they are those they call them little bird peppers, little round peppers. Little peppers that will burn your gizzard is what they will. They are delicious. This sonoran is a variety that's selected out in Arizona, hence the name Sonoran. Yep, Sonoran Desert. And this has turned out to be a really interesting and productive chiltepin here on the hot and humid Mississippi Gulf Coast. You'd think that a plant that evolved, and this is part of the chiltepins are native to the Southwest and Mexico. And you'd think that native, hot, dry, arid conditions, hot and humid here in Mississippi, and they grow like gangbusters. The only thing I've seen with these is in our environment, and I gotta kind of spread these out a little bit. In our environment, the peppers don't tend to ripen on the plant. They basically come off pretty readily, and so we got to watch that. And as soon as they start changing, oh gosh, look at all these seedlings. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. As much as I want to grow you, I want to grow everybody. No, we can't do that. Don't have room for everybody. And what do we have here? Oh, this is daddle pepper. This is the daddle pepper that I grow here at the Nano Farm. And daddle pepper is that pepper from St. Augustine. I got the original seeds for these from Master Gardeners when I spoke to the Florida Master Gardener Conference several years ago. And these are very productive here. But one thing I'm excited about is when Kate and I did a little Florida tour last October, we stopped in St. Augustine and talked to a couple growers, and they shared some of their daddle peppers, which looked a little different than the daddle peppers I grow. So I convinced them. Oh, I can't pull that out. I'm just going to cut that. I convinced them to let me have some of their peppers, and so I've done that. And I've got two other versions of the daddle pepper that I'm growing this year that I'm gonna compare. But this is the one I've been growing for about 4 years now. It's very productive. Okay, there's another one that bites the dust. Now this one here